Hey everybody out there in the internet world, coming right off of my 300/update video. I'm Chris, your Dark Avenger, here with another comic book review. 91, 9 more episodes to go before 100. I should have a countdown thing, I really should. If you could find a countdown thing, that'd be great. You should work at Century, they might have that somewhere. With me is Amber and Mike. Mike actually read a comic I did. I said this in the last video. He read Spider-Man this week since he's doing Punisher, which comes out next week.
Yep.
You. And both of them are also doing the debuts of DC.
Yes.
So that's good.
I have a question.
What?
When is the next Lady Death come out?
Sometime in August. This is the last week of July, so either not next week, either the week after that or the week after that, definitely.
I don't know if I know what happened.
Well, you'll find out soon. They like leaving you in suspense. That's the point of a comic book. By the way, guys, the comics I'm reviewing this week were released the last week of July 27th. Piece of hair in there. July 27th, 2011. Hold on, I want to get this hair out because it's driving me nuts.
You broke the seal.
The seal was broken, Amber. You just saw me seal it right before the video.
But you sealed it and opened it.
Anyway, for those of you who didn't watch the 300 video also, I am now getting comic books from Image. I'm not going to say I'm sponsored by Image, but in this video I'm putting the links to Radical because Radical are the ones that actually sent me the first 2 Image comics. So in case it is Radical that's sending me the Image books, I'm putting the advertisement for Radical there, and as well as I'm going to find the Image comic website, and I'll put a link to Image for you guys also. But you guys know I do Image all the time. I do Spawn, I do Haunt. I mentioned Lock and Key, which was also an Image comic. So I do Image. I buy Image, and the comic actually that was sent to me was one that I was debating about buying, but because of budgeting right now, because it's the summer, I unfortunately put it on the side for the time being. But now I have it. I can take it off my wish list. Anyway, first thing, straight from Midtown Comics, where I get all my comic books, by the way. A signed comic from another FlashPoint signed comic, actually. Dead Man and the Flying Graces #1, signed by J.T. Crow. And that came out last week. I'm sure you can still pick these up. I noticed that the FlashPoint tie-ins, nobody's really buying them, so I'm sure you could probably still get your hands on this one. But, yeah.
Hello.
And the phone's ringing again. Just like in the last video. Now, straight from Image Comics, sent to me. I'm guessing they would like me to review it, and I've read it, and I love it. It involves treasure hunting. It's called The Vault, number one of 3. Actually, I'll mention that in a second. You done? In the back, actually, they advertised for Samurai Blood, which I talked about last week, that Radical sent me. Okay, in this book, it's all about their treasure hunters. And I love the way when you open it, the first page. Jesus, what the hell is going on? Love the artwork. Artwork is awesome.
It literally says, Jesus, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it does. Isn't it funny how you put Jesus and hell in the same sentence? So they're treasure hunters, and they're looking for treasure, and they uncover a nice amount of treasure. Dude, I'd like to be these people. I had to actually skim this book because I got it last minute. It turns out it was sent to the wrong address, and then they sent it to me, and that's why the comic review actually is a little late also. Also, at the end, they find something else. It's a huge, it looks like sarcophagus, and this is the end. To be continued. This book is awesome. I wish... Could I finish talking about it and then you reach for it? Thank you. I wish if I didn't buy this, and if right away I didn't buy it, but if I didn't get it from them, I absolutely would have bought it. Gee, I couldn't get that sentence out for the life of me. I was trying to put the words together in my head. It just wasn't working. Anyway, this book is awesome. I was more than tongue-tied. I didn't know what to say. I was blankenized. This book, artwork was awesome. Story, from what I was reading, is also awesome. This book was advertised behind a couple of Image books. This is something you guys want to read. It's rated T for teen. It's not adult. So anybody can read it. It's a reasonable price. and it's really, really good. It's a it's a reasonable price, especially from Image, and especially for what you're getting in this book. I could turn to any page and give you awesome artwork. Awesome artwork. I could just turn to anything. Really good. It's a 3-part series. I hope Image sends me the other 2 parts. If they don't, I'll probably end up buying them anyway. So we'll see. But absolutely check this out. Check out Image Comics at imagecomics.com. I'm sure that's what it is. If not, the link is in the description below once I start putting descriptions back, which I should be sometimes this week. That was dumb. Look at the barcode. There you go. Thank you. So definitely check out the Vault. Check out Image. Image has a lot of good ongoing series. Also check out Radical, which also has awesome ongoing series. Earp and Aladdin was awesome. Hercules was awesome. Enough said with those 3 titles. Trust me, buy the books, read them. If you like comics, even if you don't like comics, if you like books that have a lot of good artwork and have a good story, read them. You will thank me later, I promise. I've already got tons of emails thanking me about recommending Aladdin. Okay, if people are thanking me, that tells you that that book is really good. Okay, now jumping into Boom Studios number 9. The Traveler is now crossing over also with Soldier Zero. So not only is Soldier Zero and Starborn connected somehow, but now the Traveler and Soldier Zero are connected. I did not expect this crossover to happen so quick. It's only issue 9. Basically, the Traveler is dealing with these entities that are coming out of his laboratory that are caused by the explosion that happened in his laboratory, and for some weird reason the split-second men are involved. Anyway, these images are of... Here, this is where he gets like a flash of all the images. These images are of people's future selves or possible future selves. We don't know if it's definite, it's possible. And each one of them tries to kill either their mother or their father or like somebody that they had come into contact with before. And it's up to the Traveler to protect them, which he does. And then he goes to he finds out that it's the split-second men in his laboratory doing it. And they disappear off after these 2 aliens, I have a feeling this is Starborn related possibly, show up and disappear. He then goes to Earth's atmosphere, and he's actually got the Soldier Zero makes little cameos. His first cameo actually was right before he went into the lab. It was right here, actually. That was his first cameo. There were several others before the last page. But he confronts Abris, and Abris is begging the Traveler to free him, and we don't know why. And then the final page, which was the awesomest, was Soldier Zero attacking the Traveler. Apparently Soldier Zero thinks the Traveler is the one causing the problems, not realizing that it probably is Abris, or I don't know. I have a feeling all 3 issues, the Traveler, Starborn, and Soldier Zero are going to collide, and it'll explain, like, this is the Traveler side. Probably in the next Soldier Zero, it'll explain what Soldier Zero sees, and then you'll understand and come back to the Traveler after reading Soldier Zero and Starborn, and the story will continue from there. So, really awesome, awesome cover. This is cover, I believe, oh, they're not doing A's and B's anymore. This is just the cover, the original cover, not the variant. Really good series. I don't know why why a lot of people don't read this. This is good. I'm sorry, it's good. And it's not because Stan Lee's name's on it either, because he doesn't do anything except overlook it. This is Mark Waid, okay? Those of you out there who read comics know who Mark Waid is, and it's really good. Artwork is really good also. Jumping into the big 2, FF number 7 continues Black Bolt's return. That's the basic bulk of the book. No FF in this issue either. It's all about Black Bolt. So it's so far 2 issues of backstory. I believe. Are you done? I believe the next issue goes back to FF because the next issue says Villains United. So I'm believing they're going back to the present where they're going to start. They're going to continue the story up again where they where it's FF versus the Reed Richards that came out of the Zone. So, I guess these two are like fillers in between the main story to catch you up to where Black Bolt was and how he came back to life. So for those of you Black Bolt fans, there you go. That's how he came back. I'm sorry, I just wasn't interested. I'm waiting for the actual FF to come back. Maybe at some point I'll like Black Bolt enough to want to come back and reread these in depth. But for right now, I'm just here for the FF. And probably Black Bolt is a huge Fantastic Four villain or friend or whatever. But I'm really getting into Marvel more nowadays, so I'm learning more and more as time goes on. Anyway, Venom, number 5. I have to make sure. In this issue, it's about Flash Thompson. I was about to say Eddie Brock. This is how crazy it is that Eddie Brock isn't Venom anymore. He's the anti-Venom, whatever. Flash Thompson is dealing with his father, who's a drunk. Pete shows up in this issue to help him find his father because his father goes missing. It starts off with him as Venom doing a mission, but after the mission's over, he goes home, and it turns out the mom is looking for the father who disappeared. He's a drunk. You know, you learn more about Flash's past, which we all knew about already. He was abused by his father. And Flash is like, I don't want to deal with this crap, but he does it anyway because his mother's upset. And Flash finds his father in a bar later on with Pete. And they actually have to, they try to get him to come back. He ends up in the hospital with, what's that thing called? Cryosis, cirrhosis, I don't know, cirrhosis of the liver. Yeah, cirrhosis of the liver due to all of his drinking. So he was basically drinking in the end of his days, and basically he asked for forgiveness, and Flash just leaves, and he gets a phone call. This is all a prelude, by the way, to Spider Island. He gets a phone call from the General, and that's where it says, I believe, to be continued, or the end. Nope, just the end. So, really good. The artwork was awesome. Flashbacks and stuff like that. The lore. The Venom scene was epic as well. It was pretty good. The Human Fly made his appearance. Human Fly looks kind of weird. There was a gross moment in the very beginning where he actually ate a rodent. I'm not showing that, so don't worry. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, it was pretty good. What?
Is this based on it?
No, it's not based on the movie.
No, is that based on a comic book?
What? I love when she does that. No. It's a sci-fi.
No. They need to make one about Gen X.
They did a long time ago and it didn't make it. Uncanny X-Force number 12. X-Force is still trapped in the Apocalypse universe, and Jean and Wolverine are having their heart-to-hearts where, you know, basically they both love each other, you can see it, and Wolverine wants Jean to come back with him when they go back to their universe, and that's towards the end anyway. That started at the beginning. Jean's explaining what's been going on in her universe. You find out that Dark Beast was telling the truth but lying at the same time. There are still more life seeds out there. So the goal, the whole mission is to get another life seed and find somebody who's on lockdown. I forgot his name. I think I can get his name pretty quick. By the way, these are the X-Men that are left in the Dark Universe. And yes, the cover, that does happen in the book. I'll explain later on. They have to find, I have to find his name. Man, why am I not good at this? I keep forgetting their names. Somebody can get them back home, but they have to get the life seed first. Oh, here we go. Gateway.
I know Gateway.
Okay, well, this is Gateway in the Dark Universe.
Yeah, I know Gateway.
Yeah, they have to break him out, and he's the one that's going to be able to send them back. And yes, what happened on the cover does happen in the book.
Gateway was in Gen X.
That's nice. And what happened is Venom X and Psylocke get into a fight because Venom X says he's your boyfriend. You were supposed to help him and you didn't. And she's like, I do love. And it was a whole thing about their relationship. And he said, you don't love him. You just love to be needed. And yeah, that's how it started. That's how it started. And then Phantom X makes his move on her. He's like, well, the man you loved is long gone, but I'm here. And then they make out, and she pushes him away, saying, I won't give up on him. And then the mission starts. And the Black Legion show up. And it's a mix of heroes and villains together. Yes, that is the Blob. It is a disgusting version of the Blob. And it ends with leading one of Apocalypse's 4 horsemen being Wolverine of that universe. Or that is Apocalypse. I don't even know. It looks like the Wolverine of that universe is Apocalypse. And there's also Gateway.
Yes. I know.
To be continued. Awesome series. X-Force has been awesome. All the X titles right now are really awesome. Everything right now on X-wise. Except for Astonishing. I hear that's not doing too well. Wow. Anyway.
Gateway brought Penance into that.
Mm-hmm. X-Men Schism issue 2. Wolverine is getting tense. He wants to get out there and start busting up some Sentinels, but it turns out the Sentinels, 75% of them are, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the, I had it and then I lost it. You done? They don't work. I just can't remember the word they used. 75% of them are, huh?
Deactivated?
No. Defective. Jesus Christ, why are words coming to me today? And you find out that the Hellfire Club is no longer run by mutants, it's run by humans. Then they're like, the time of mutants is like, they actually say this, the time of mutants was like, here, the short little fart that was the era of mutants has passed. Pun. Pun. They use the word fart in a comic book. Anyway. This kid is looking to put an end to the mutants, and he actually has the help of these aliens. Anybody who knows who they are, you can let me know in the comments below. They look like Pitbull aliens, if you ask me.
I've seen them too, I just can't remember.
I can't remember the names either. I know I've seen them too. So they're all looking for Quentin Quire, and it turns out he turns up right on Utopia's doorstep looking for...
Is that
looking for solitude. And by the way, that boy's friends, yeah, they're vicious people. These are kids, and they have guns and swords and everything, every other whatnot thing. So then it jumps back to the X-Men. Wolverine wants to rip the hell out of Quentin Quire. But Cyclops wants to keep him and try him. Yes, Utopia wants to try him by his peers, which are the mutants. Actually, Steve Rogers calls and Cyclops lies and says that they haven't found him yet. And you can see the stuff between Cyclops and Wolverine starting to heat up, because he actually says usually he likes when Cyclops stands up to him, but this isn't one of those times, and he walks off. Then it turns out there's a mutant history museum that opens up. And these X-Men show up to show face. And Wolverine's in a bar going, this isn't going to go too well. And this is how they end it. Looks like the mutants are going to be attacked. Who's? Emma's?
Yes.
Stupid, I know.
It's like barely being held on.
So now the X-Men, I'm guessing, are going to be attacked by the New Age Hellfire Club, which is this stupid kid and his...
Can I see that?
I hate this kid. I hate him. You know, if they wanted you to hate him, it worked. Now the comic Mike and I read. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number, I'm not joking here, 666, 666. I got the variant Midtown Comic edition. Well, one of the variants. This is the variant Midtown one with Midtown Comics on the cover. That's where I get all my comic books. I figured, why not? I like this cover. I don't like the Statue of Liberty with Spider-Man's spider stuff painted on it, so here we go. It's a prelude. And it's all about Spider-Man's life being so busy and him just working nonstop with being Spider-Man, being in the FF, being with the Avengers, playing poker, working at Horizon Labs. That fight with what's his name? Hydro?
Yeah, Hydro Man. I wanted you to show them. There's this new thing he uses.
Talk while I do this.
Yeah.
Hold the camera towards Michael, Amber, so this way we both can show the comic. That would be actually good.
Yes, thank you.
Hold it towards Michael and I'll just...
So there was a scene that actually interested me with Hydro Man.
I'm going to show it.
Where he
starts
used this
here.
new freeze
gadget.
Yeah, this new freeze gadget.
freezes
Like,
him.
I saw that and I was like, wow. Like, you know, and all
frozen.
that.
Frozen solid. That was
And
awesome.
then there was one scene that actually Chris brought to my attention that Spider-Man or Peter Parker doesn't tingle anymore.
I told that a while ago. And he's also using his FF suit, which changes his unstable molecules.
You know, and then
And it changes his costume. I was tongue-tied.
But
And he actually changes it several times.
yeah, but then people are wondering how Spider-Man, how he could work with the Avengers,
And Betty's still in the hospital because of the events in the last issue.
Yeah.
And actually, all these people are complaining about having Spidey powers. Like, my wrists are shooting out these things. I can't get this piece of paper off my
Yeah,
hand.
and there's a scene at the almost end that Peter
Oh,
Parker.
wait. This was cool. Wait, hold that. Spider-Man versus Madam Web. Epic fight.
That was epic. But I was also going to say that there was a little scene where Carly and Peter Parker are going to have a conversation about something, and I'll tell you what it is, because they just said they have to
It's
just
part of the
talk.
preview. And Jackal, and you find out at the very end that Jackal and this unknown woman at this time found Ben Reilly's body. They actually show a piece of Ben Reilly from the Kraven saga.
Yeah, wow.
And they actually mutated him into some really messed up spider mutant thing. And they actually have control over the people that now have the spider powers. So they're like, man, this city, this Manhattan, this island of spiders is going to be ours to be continued, and they have people floating all over the place. I was like, wow.
I say the artwork and story is good. Absolutely pick it up.
I cannot wait to see how the rest of Spider Island goes. Mike, you're probably going to be reading it with me now. And the nice thing, the wonderful thing is your checklist. I'm probably not going to be getting the Cloak and Dagger or the Deadly Hand of Kung Fu. I might see the first issue of Deadly Hand of Kung Fu, but I'm not getting Cloak and Dagger. The important stuff is all on Amazing Spider-Man. I already get Venom. And what?
And it has a Midtown thing in the front of the comic book, right?
Yeah, this
Like
is
right
the
there.
Midtown variant.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Okay, getting into DC. These are going to go by really, really fast. FlashPoint issues, tie-ins. Lois Lane and the Resistant with Grifter in the main spotlight. Issue 2 of 3. Okay, one out of the bunch, going pretty well. Hawkgirl gets killed in this issue. Next one is Kid Flash Lost. Issue 2 of 3. Kid Flash now gains his Speed Force back, but now he has to find the Flash. To be continued. Pretty awesome. I'm not giving these in-depth reviews because, once again, these are tie-ins. And once again, I said I wasn't going to buy them, but I'm only getting the ones that interest me. Project Superman issue 2. Superman is now a kid. The government has him and want to turn him into some type of weapon. The U.S. government. And Sam Lane actually treats him as a son. And there's a moment between Superman where Cal, they call him Cal here, meets Lois, and I think he falls in love with her as a kid. Really nice to be continued. Crypto also dies in this issue.
Aww.
Finally, Hal Jordan, issue 2 of 3. It's okay, he's not a Green Lantern. It turns out that it's an alternate universe. Calm down. And in this issue, him and Carol Ferris take down the monster you see in the cover, and he's going on a suicide mission to be concluded. All of them are to be concluded. I like all these miniseries, and if you guys have the extra cash, those are the ones I'd say to get. Also something that you might want to, if you're a completionist only, issue 2 of 3 of the Search for Swamp Thing. Alec Holland is in the swamps, and he bumps into this lab that's run by LexCorp now. And Superman shows up, and John Constantine wants to find Alec Holland to kill him so he could become Swamp Thing again. And this way, he won't be the new Swamp Thing, because basically the Swamp wants him to find Alec Holland. He doesn't. The Swamp doesn't even want him to be the new Swamp Thing. But yeah, kind of weird. I never really knew who Constantine was, John Constantine. So I'm telling you the truth. I can't wait for the last part just to end it, and Brightest Day will be completely over. Also, something that came out this week, Retroactive Superman in the 1970s, the one-shot. It has a story that never made it to print, as well as a reprinted story. Absolutely awesome. I love the old stuff. If you guys are interested, the 70s one is here. Next week, I believe, no, in 2 weeks is going to be the 80s, and then in another 2 weeks the 90s, and then it's over. Batman the Dark Knight, issue 4. Batman saves the girl, and it turns out that demons are chasing after her because her father was grooming her to be the sacrifice to give him the ability to as a. Are you done scanning? And I can find out what the title is. Something in hell. He's going to be higher up in hell. Hell's Lord on Earth. He could be a Hell's Lord on Earth. Also, Inspector Gordon, Commissioner Gordon gets demoted by an inspector who actually blackmails him. We don't know how he got this stuff, but you know it's all a lie. And he gets leave until they get to the bottom of it. And this guy actually says he thinks Batman's involved. This guy's looking to take his job away. While somewhere else, Blaze shows up. That's not the girl from the Lady Death, right? Blaze.
No.
Blaze.
No.
Okay, good. Because I thought it was. I had to ask you. And she offers Etrigan, not Jason Blood, but Etrigan, his place back in hell if he helps her. And you see the conflict here. But Etrigan agrees, and now I think they're going after the girl, and it's to be continued where. It's a lot of flashbacks, and this is where it's to be concluded, it says. Batman's going to be attacked by the forces of hell. To be continued. 3 more issues. What are we at, Mike?
26 minutes and 27 seconds.
To be continued. Let's go into the next part, because there's 4 more comics, at least it'll be good there. So we'll see you guys in the next part.
Okay.